All my successful lions out there. I'm back. What's good with y'all, man? Coming on this so-called holiday, man. Bless y'all with a few videos. I blessed y'all with a video yesterday. I wanted to come back again, bless y'all with a video. Yeah, man, you know, how we gonna end the year. You know, we doing an episode today, which all the new subscribers, I greatly appreciate you. Continue to like, share, comment, you know, pass this on so people can subscribe. Great channel. We keep going up and up and up. I think we had like 421 subscribers, which is great for upcoming channel. Yeah, man, I'm gonna keep cranking out knowledgeable, useful content going into the new year. You're gonna see a few changes, but I'm just gonna keep on the wraps and keep doing what I do. And yeah, so right now, like when we do an episode, we do a book and we do a couple of videos, you know, about a particular subject for all the new subscribers that don't know. All right, so today, since it's the end of the year, I'm gonna continue with the tradition. The book we're gonna end this year off is the Bible. All right, but usually we do a book and we do some scriptures that relates to the couple of videos that we do during the episode, where it all ties up like a bow. But today we're just gonna focus on the Bible. That's how we're gonna end the year off. And yeah, man. So this episode right here, this content, this video that I'm putting together right now, it's about jailed rappers. All right. If you guys saw, I did a video called Cemetery of Dead Rappers. All right, that was part 3, where all the rappers that have died like in the past year and a half, you know, 2022 into 2021. And I've done this for the last 2 years that my channel has existed, all the dead rappers. But now I want to go check that out. You know, it was the main people of that were Takeoff, Coolio, and Jada Youngin, which all 3 of them died different type of situations. Takeoff died just being a bystander, chilling, minding his business. He got shot down. Coolio died of heart complications. They say it was an OD. We don't know, but he died. That's a bad way to go out. He was in his 50s, still young. Takeoff was only 28. Then you had Jada Youngin, which was gunned down, I think shot like 12 times or something in front of his house, man. And even during that situation, his own father was shot during the situation. So it's a sad day, and they're all people of color, man, which a lot of content creators are not talking about. They're just going on with it. Me, I used to be an entertainer, so I did some wild stuff and did what I had to do to make it back home at night, you know, and I'll just leave it at that. But I can see it worsening. That's why I got out of it, because either I was going to be Nipsey, dead, YSL with the RICO, or I'd be kayflock in prison fighting a homicide. You know, it was only those 3 options, man, and I'm glad God plucked me out of that realm, even though however talented I was or still am, my calling was different, you know, and he's being out of that realm, he blessed me 10 times over. And that's why I'm giving my word to you. You know, a lot of upcoming rappers or rappers who've been doing it for a while, I can tell they feel it in their spirit that this is not what they want to do. being in the club atmosphere, doing this, doing that with knuckleheads that are not changing, and the fast life. Sometimes you want your life just to slow down a bit, but they feel they're too far gone, or they've put in too much time to turn back now, or they feel they're going to be laughed at or judged for giving their life to God, or giving that lifestyle up to do something a little more positive, but I feel for them. I was the same way, but God plucked me out, and I'm greatly appreciative. But today, we doing the jailed rappers, so you guys can see. So you guys can see all the names, popular artists who are currently jailed. All right, they're not free. You know what I mean? So they can have all the money in the world. When they were freed, they had all the money, all the fame, all the women. But I guarantee you, no matter how lame or a geek or broke you may be that's watching this video right now, I guarantee you, to become free, they will switch their lives with you. Now, would you want to switch your life with them and go in a cell? 23-1, the CEO telling you when you can shower, when you can hit the yard, all right, when you can have phone calls, lights out, bend over, cough, families coming to visit you, they got to strip down. Okay? So they will switch with you in a heartbeat to come out here and live a legal life, a 9-to-5 life, or whatever life that you have. They will switch with you. Okay? So we're going to go through the names just so you guys can get a real understanding, man. And I'll go through the background of their charges a little bit as we go down. But let's start right now with Toreylanez. Now I'm gonna come back and do a whole video about Toreylanez, because he's one artist that I do like. I like some of his songs and stuff like that, and I like the underdog, you know what I mean? And of course we all know the system and being railroaded, you know what I mean? But I'm not in his entourage. I don't, I'm not in his family, you know what I mean? So that's the way that game, man. You play that game, man, the devil's gonna come back and collect. The devil's gonna come back and collect, man. The fame, money, and the lifestyle, eventually the devil's gonna come back and collect. And right now, because Tory's trying to change his life, you can hear it in his music. He's trying, but the devil came back and collected, man. You know what I'm saying? And he's in jail right now, facing 22 years. He was found guilty. Even the evidence that I've heard should have been a mistrial. In my humble opinion, he might get an appeal. But, he's definitely not coming back to the U.S. for a while. And I do hope, if he's truly innocent, I hope new stuff come out where it's revealed how innocent he actually was, and the person who did create this nonsense or shot Meg confesses, because eventually, something like that where you taking a man from his family, his livelihood, and his kids will eventually probably eat you up. So hopefully that person who actually did it will confess, all right? But he's locked up. That's just one. He's a multimillionaire, famous, and I guarantee you right now, he'd rather be home with his kids. He would switch lives with me right now to be home with his kids. But I wouldn't switch with him right now. I'm not switching with him. Okay, we got Kalon Walker. He's accused of sexually assaulting several women. He was in the Superfly movie, the new age Superfly movie. I think it came out in 2019. He's an actor, the one that was going against the main actor there in Superfly. All right, then you got Pooh Shiesty. We all know what he's locked up for. Gucci Mane's. He was Gucci Mane's like top artist. You know, he had a couple hits under his belt. Young. He's from Memphis, and you know he's locked up doing about 8 years right now. He will switch just because you may be called a lame, you may be called a geek or a 9-to-5er, but I guarantee you, he will swap out doing those 8 years to live in your shoes, being free, being a lame. Okay, got Casanova 2 times. You know, he was hanging out with the so-called the apes. You know, that's what they call them, which is a blood gang in New York, and mostly everybody snitched on him, and he basically pled guilty and copped out. I think he's awaiting his time to get out, but you know he's looking at a good 10 years or so, being a convicted felon already. So he's doing about 10 years. Then you got Tay-K. We all know Tay-K, Do the Race song he came out with while being on the run for one homicide. Then I think he got another homicide while being on the run, took off his ankle bracelet, etc. I think he was only like 16 or something, man, you know. You got Rondo number 9, who's from Chicago. You know, remember he had the missile launcher in a picture. Good friends of Young Dirk. He's doing like 22 years right now. Guarantee you he will switch with you. You got Rollo Fam Goon. And I used to like Rollo, not for his rapping, but I like his camaraderie, the way he brought his community together. He was the definition of buying the block. And sometimes that scares the people in power, man. You know, he brought buildings in his block, had his friends and mostly family live on these properties rent-free. They were protecting them. They had their own gun licenses, and they was protecting him with AKs everywhere he went. So it was kind of intimidating for that. But, you know, he was so militant at a young age. They said, yo, we got to get him up out of here. You know, he was only like 23, and he's been down for a couple pounds of weed that is legal now. He's been down for almost 7 years, man. You know, because of his influence, they want to keep him off the streets, which is sad, and nobody's speaking up. That's what I'm saying about all these rappers in power. They're not speaking up, man. They continue to go on and on and on because, you know, it becomes a time, how much money is enough? You know, for you to come together and fight for something. They're not going to do it. Okay? So he's locked up. Rollo Fam Goon. Got Hood Rich Pablo. He's locked up. YMW Mello, we all know he's locked up. Been awaiting trial 5, 6, 7 years now for murdering his 2 friends who they say he shot in the car and tried to cover it up because they were extorting him and stuff like that. But, you know, he's going to trial soon. You got C Murder, who's been down, I don't know, since I was a teenager, man. He's been down since like 2000. Still waiting. The person who said they did it came out and confessed, and he's still waiting to get it overturned because he had a lot of influence. So, you know, he's like in his 50s now, I think, or late 40s or something like that. But he's been down since his 20s. You know, he's been down for a minute. You got 03 Greedo. He's been down for a minute. I think he's doing 20 years. His case was different. He was out for a while, and he knew he had to turn himself in, and he's doing like 20 years or something. AR-Ab, the Philly goon, the King Goon, Philly. You know what he's down for. You know, he's kind of self-snitching on himself throughout his career, but I think he was actually trying to change his life. But the streets just kept calling him, you know, and that's a sad thing because he did have a lot of talent, and the people he had on his label had a lot of talent. You know, Dark Low and people like that had real talent, but this is what keeping it real goes wrong. You know, they didn't utilize their talents. You can't have 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You know, I know that from experience. You know, somewhat of my whole career, I was kind of dibbling and dabbling because you want that authenticity of being well known, ripping and running the streets. If you're talking about it, you know, and it's a rap trap. It's a setup, you know. Now he's doing, I think he got sentenced to 44 years, if I'm not mistaken, but he's going to appeal that. Then you got Max Bigavelli, Max B the Don. You know, he's 75 years he's doing because, you know, he's confessed. So, you know, that he's been convicted. He confessed that they basically set up a man to get robbed. Basically, the woman who they sent to set up the guy confessed. And, you know, he got 75 years, you know, but they said that's going to be overturned, not sure. But he's been down since, I don't know, 05, 07, something like that. So he's been down for a minute, at least 12 years or so. Then you got BG, Big Jizzle, from Cash Money. He's been down for a minute, like 8 piece. They said he's coming home soon, but he's been down for a minute. I think he got locked for a gun or something like that, but he's been down for a minute. So we'll see if he comes home. You got Honeycomb Brazy. You know, everybody knows Honeycomb Brazy. The beef he had with certain people got his grandmother and grandfather killed. They set the house on fire. They shot it up, set the house on fire, then it blew up because of the gas. So he was in heavy beef while he was out here, and numerous occasions you see him on like live and shootouts coming, you know, and stuff like that. And and he got shot like 8 times or something before getting on, you know, and it's really sad, man. You go through all these names. I want you guys to look at this video again. Go through all these names, man. Like, the situations are very sad, man. You know, to say the least, man. It's like all these brothers have so much good brains that, you know, they can be carpenters, they can be engineers. These, you know, TK16, man, he could have been a doctor, you know, around the right people. You know, Rondo number 9, you know, he could have been in the military. He could have been a general in the military. It seemed like, you know, all these people, man, they, you know, Max B could have been an engineer, could have been a fashion designer. You know what I mean? Because he dressed real good, man, you know. And it's just sad, man, that because what we see on these TV screens, we want to be, we want to emulate. We want to be the big guys on the block. We want to, you know, do this and do that. And, you know, we become idolized, you know, by certain things that we see. So then you got Rio the Youngin from Detroit. You know, he was on fire for a minute. He's cool with Peasy and all those guys. Rio the Youngin. He's been locked down, I think, for a gun and drugs. I think he's doing a 5-piece. I think he's coming home soon, like another year or so. Then it gets to Fetty Wap. Fetty Wap, a multi-millionaire in his heyday. I think he was on DJ Academics, and he was saying he was making 100,000 or 50,000 a week, 100,000 a week doing shows. Can you imagine that? Making damn near $1 million every 2 months. Now he's helped out so many people, or lived way above his means. Didn't have any accountant, didn't have a CPA, didn't have somebody to help with his money marketing, to save and invest. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people don't understand. You have a 5-year run in music, all right? Like when you first maybe get your first hit, from your first hit or underground hit that gets you millions of views and your recognition, you only have a 5-year run from that, okay? Unless you're one of the OGs, triple OGs like Nas, you know, who else? Boosie, you know, you have that 5-year run, and that's it, man. Stuff is gonna start going down. Your show is gonna come down to 20 G's a show for you to do that. What song he had? Girls a Trapper, something like that. Trap Queen, yeah, Trap Queen and all that. He had like, you know, four hits that was radio hits at the time. So he can go around the world and, you know, and get bags off that. But he still wanted to live at that 100 G a week lifestyle and only bringing in 25 G's a week. So he invested his money back into the streets, fentanyl and coke and all this stuff, to still act like he's living that life, which, who are you impressing? You're not impressing anybody. You know, number one, you're disabled. You only have one eye, and now, you know, you're doing 10 years in prison. All right. We think so backwards, man. He could have been anything. All these brothers could be anything they want to be, and they chose this. You know, you got 42 Doug, he confessed. I think it was a gun charge or guns and drugs. He confessed, got a good deal of doing 6 months. And instead of him doing the 6 months, he goes on a run and gets caught on live TV, I think at a Detroit Pistons game, in the front row. So now he has to do his whole time because he was on a run. So I think he got 3 years. Instead of doing 6 months, he get 3 years. All right, you got Chef G, who's from New York, that drill New York area and rap. He's doing like 3 years for a gun. You got Hot Boy doing a bit for a gun. You got Kayflock, like I mentioned, homicide caught on tape. They said the dude he shot had a gun and was threatening them. Y'all seen the video. And Kayflock, what's interesting is he had a cousin who was his rival, D-Thing, who's locked up right now, RICO charges, awaiting trial. And D-Thing had 3 open gun cases, just kept getting bailed out. 3 open gun cases, and he's fighting the RICO, so he's down. You got Mozzie. Everybody knows Mozzie. He's doing about 3 years right now in the feds, I believe, for a gun. He got caught in Vegas riding around. That's what I'm saying, man. In this game, man, you gotta protect yourself. So it's hard moving around. You gotta constantly watch your back. Like I said, man, I want to be going. I don't want to be going to Miami and beautiful places in LA and Dominican Republic and Hawaii, with a beautiful lady friend, and have to keep looking over my shoulder everywhere I go. At some point, like, I just want to chill, have my shirt off, get me a nice tan, flip-flops, flopping around, man, and just enjoy what I've done and accomplished in life, not looking around my shoulder and because of the fame, because people want a name off you because of your fame and what you rep. So you're going to have beef everywhere, or you're going to have someone trying to test you everywhere, And then last but not least, before we get up out of here, you got Young Thug. I don't mean to laugh at the brother, but everybody and their mother snitching on Young Thug, man. Everybody and their mother snitching on Young Thug. And it's sad because when you see these guys out, they're so gangster, 20, 30 deep, and 25 of them are rats. When things hit the fan, 25 of them are rats, and they ratting on you. But when you was out, they riding passenger with you, gunner. They riding passenger with you. They know what you got in the car to protect their life. They know how you moving and how you operate. And they accept it getting in the passenger seat. But then when you get stopped, you get pulled over, and police are involved, they want no parts of your life no more. They're snitching to come home. People getting 10-year probation, 15-year I never seen nothing like this in a RICO, or any conspiracy, 15-year probation. Where, they going home, but these guys going to be back in there. We all know the statistics of it. So you giving guys 10 years, 15 years probation, and if they have to stay sober or stay away from certain members, man, you already know they're going to get caught, and then they're going to be right back in there. So they're not really doing them a favor. They're just making it seem like you're going to go home. But they know these people are going to mess up within a year or two, and they're going to have to do their whole bid. So eventually they're gonna be part of the system anyway. So being on probation is a part of the system, and it's probably worse if you ask me. I've been on probation several times, and the strictness of it and the checking in, and in some cases you got curfew and you ain't there, you get violated. You know what I mean? So urine test, and you have to pay to be on a certain type of probation and pay restitution. At some point, you're just like, man, I should have just did the extra 90 days that equal the 2 years probation instead of, trying to be out here on the street. So it all depends, man, But, yeah, man, Young Thug, feel sorry for him. YFN Lucci, he's a part of that on the rival side, but you haven't heard anybody from his camp actually snitching. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but we'll see when they start handing out the numbers, who's solid, who ain't. All right? But it just shows you these young brothers were cool at once, right? They were cool at once. Instead of just going their separate ways, it resorted to bullets being flying, and a couple brothers on each side losing their lives which, you know, it's a sad thing, man, where they could have just separated or came to a conclusion like, hey, I'm doing this over here, you do that over there. You know, we were cool at once. But no, man, there's too many egos and people with Macho Man Randy Savage ideology and Nino Brown ideology and Scarface ideology that it could only be one. And, you know, you don't see Walmart going to war with Target. Like, nah, you're going to have over there, I'm going to have over here. That's fine. We don't have to bash each other. You make your millions, I make my millions. That's it. We don't have to bash each other, you know, but they feel now both of them are sharing cells. Was it all worth it? No, it wasn't. So I hope all upcoming entertainers, rappers, you pass this on. All my subscribers, you pass this on. Your little brother, your little sister who's looking to be the next Glorilla or Megan or whatever, Cardi B, man. Tell them to be nurses, all right? Be lawyers, all right? Be engineers, be real estate developers, you know what I mean? Be scientists, you know? Work in bio labs, man. Come up with solutions for these illnesses. You know, that's what we need. You know what I mean? We don't need no more entertainers. We don't need any more entertainers, man. Either you're going to get locked in a pine box. You're going to get locked or in a pine box. I mean, there's only two, really. I mean, but yeah, man. All my successful lions out there, stay up, stay shining, stay smiling, and shine on them, man. Shine on them.